Good morning, everybody. Had to sneak out the house so I can make a little quick video. You know, everybody be in my mouth. Just out here walking Diesel. It's a beautiful morning. So I just wanted to basically touch on the situation for those who are not super close to me, but you know me. Basically, I grew up and I never knew my father. I never knew his identity, never knew I didn't even know a name. So I basically grew up and was told that, by everyone in the family was told that my birth father was Hispanic. Okay, what kind of Hispanic? Oh, Puerto Rican. Okay, well, where is he? I don't know. What's his name? I don't know. What does he look like? I don't know. So that's just been the basis of my knowing of my birth father. So the one that raised me was my step grandfather. So him and my grandmother got married right around the time I was born. So when they took me in, he basically took over and was my role as my dad. So I had a dad figure. You know, I'm thankful, especially looking back at it now. I'm like, I did have a dad. You know, I had a father figure. So for that, I'm thankful. But basically, the way all this went down is so funny. Like, it's quite hilarious. So I had the Ancestry DNA test, well, basically because I was told I was Puerto Rican. As most of y'all know, I done got in touch with the whole Hispanic culture, just embraced it. Come on, Diesel, come on. And I was like, well, if I do this test, because I seen other people on my Facebook post their results, and I was like, oh, okay, like it tells me exactly what they are. Like, that's so cool. And I was like, well, maybe I could really find out if I'm Puerto Rican. Maybe I could find out, you know, the origin. And, you know, I'm good with that. At least if I have that much, I am good with that, you know. So I bought the test maybe in, like, I don't know, it might have been February, March. I don't know. I've been holding on to it for some months. And at first I was like, I'm going to do it as soon as I get it. But, you know, the waiting period is like 6 to 8 weeks. So I'm like, oh God, I couldn't wait that long. That is too long to wait. So I think I just kind of put it on the back burner and just did some, you know, just forgot about it or whatever. So one day I was just like, you know what, I'm just gonna do it. I'm just gonna do it. I'm not gonna think about it. It probably will come back by the time the kids start school, and I'll be busy, you know. So I won't think about it. So I did the test like 3 weeks ago, and I sent it off. And you basically just spit in this thing, fill it up with spit, and send it off, you know. They give you the prepackaged thing and everything, and you just send it back, and you basically wait. So I ended up getting, the other day I was coming home, keep in mind, I'm thinking 6 to 8 weeks. So in my mind, I'm gonna forget about it at least until mid-August. So I get an email on my way home from work, and it was like, first of all, they sent me one a week ago talking about, your results are almost ready, should be ready in another 3 to 4 weeks. Okay. They sent me one on Tuesday and was like, your Ancestry DNA results are in. Please click here to see the results. I was like, oh shit. I was on a freeway on the phone with Candace. I was like, let me get off the freeway and pull over, because now I can't wait. Like, I need to know the level of Hispanic I am. So, not the level, but the origin. So I pulled over and I went to it, and it was like, view your results here. Okay, so I viewed the results, and it was like 31%. Y'all see it, I posted it. And I was like, East European, Russian, that's not Hispanic. So then I kept looking, and I was like, Greek, that's not Hispanic. I'm like, oh shit, I'm white. So it said, view your DNA matches here. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna probably see a whole bunch of black people, because in my mind, as far as I know, the identity of my father was a ghost. So in my mind, I'm like, he probably a whole immigrant who was here in the 80s, probably done ran back, never to be seen again. He probably dead, you know, ain't no telling. Like, I just had no choice but to believe the unthinkable, the impossible. So I click on the DNA thing, the matches, and his name was the first one there. And it was like projected relationship, parent-child. And I was like, Candace, she was like, what? I'm like, Candace, I found my father. Oh my God, I found my, she was like, no, you didn't. And I was like, yes. And I was like, oh, I gotta call Jordan. So I called Jordan, screaming at her. Then I called Charles, screaming at him. And I was like, so then I called Candace back. I'm like, oh my God, like, it says his name. Like, to even have a name, you gotta understand, in that moment for me was more than I've ever thought of in my 37 years. Like, I never even had a name. So to see that, I was like, bitch. So underneath it, it shows my sister's name and my aunt's name. And the way it is it shows how much, I guess, DNA or chromosomes or whatever, stop Diesel, or shows how much you share. So me and the father share 3,500. And me and the aunt and niece share 1,750. So it said projected relationship with them was half sibling, aunt or uncle, grandparent, because that means that's how close y'all are. I'm like, holy shit. Like, you gotta understand, in this moment, I couldn't even like begin to comprehend what I'm seeing, because again, my whole idea of everything was, it was a ghost, you know? And so I reached out to all of them on Facebook. Nobody read the messages. And I was just like, fuck it, I'm not gonna bother anymore. It is what it is. And I sent them one on Ancestry. But it shows that he just did it in March. So it ain't even like he did it that long ago. So I sent them messages on Instagram because my other friend convinced me to message them on Instagram, because, you know, everybody went into investigative mode. Everybody, Charles found him. My friend found them on Instagram. Candace found them on Facebook. I didn't have to do anything. Like, literally with this whole situation, I didn't have to lift a finger. All I did was spit. So for me to find, and the funny thing is, I found all of this out when I was at peace. I found all this out when I had already been through so much other stuff. So imagine my surprise, because I'm thinking me getting AJ, me getting married, me buying my house, my other house. I'm like, this is the peak. It can't go nowhere else. It can't get no higher than this. It can't. This is it. This is the completion, and I'm good with that. You know, I'm happy. I'm at peace. I'm thankful. I'm grateful. You know, thank you, universe. You know, whatever. And I was like, this is it. There's nowhere else I can go from here. You know. And then this happened, and I'm like, I have to laugh at it. Like everybody's like, are you okay? And it's like, I can't cry. I can't, you know, because I'm shocked. I never, ever in my life thought I would ever know who my father was. Like, this is beyond my expectations. Like, this is beyond the $80 that I spent. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, and then the fact is they actually want to know me. And, you know, this can go one or two ways. So that's why I was a little reluctant. But I'm like, because the adult me is cool. The adult me is like, Carlotta, you got everything you want. You're happy, you're good. But the inner child of me is like, no, remember those days you would cry and wonder what was wrong with you? And, you know, the days you would cry and wonder why your father wasn't there. And so I had to reach out. And I'm like, if it don't work out, cool. But I have to at least see. So I reached out. I told the sister, like, hey, we may be closely related. Like, if you want to discuss it, you know, contact me here. And she was like, yeah, it looks like we might be first cousins. And who are your parents? And I was like, well, it looks like Alex is my father. And she was like, that's my father. And I was like, yeah. So I guess at that point, you know, we ended up talking for like an hour and a half, and she was just like, well, I'm gonna call my aunt, I'm gonna call everybody, let them know what's up. So I guess they went into detective mode and called Ancestry and asked, how real is this? And they was like, it's just as real as a paternity test. That's your child. So, I mean, imagine never knowing, and then almost 40 years later, you find out you have a whole kid and grandkid. and she's half black. So I was like, oh, okay. And you know, and he was like, I'm sorry to disappoint you, but you're not half Hispanic, you're half Romanian. And I was like, yeah, kind of figured that one out. So it's just very interesting. It's very interesting. I don't really know how to take it all in at the moment. Like, I'm just kind of going on a day-by-day thing with it. But everybody's really excited, and you know, the fact that they want to get to know me, you know, I can't say it's nothing short of a blessing. Like, because most of y'all know my family. Most of y'all know how dysfunctional and toxic my immediate family is. So to find out that I have a father, a sister, like 2 aunts, I even have a 83-year-old grandmother, like, to even find all that out is like mind blowing. Like, I can't even wrap my mind around it right now, because a part of me feels like it's still not real. Like, this is just bullshit, but it's real. So I just want to let y'all know, like, I'm good, I'm happy, I'm thankful, very still much in shock. Like, even when I look at his pictures now, I'm like, damn, I could see the features, like I could see them. And you know, to be able to even discover this, like, technology is no joke. Like, that shit is no joke. But if you guys are, any of y'all are in a situation like me or know someone, I definitely recommend doing it, because I never thought, you hear these stories, but you never know anyone who's been through it, you know what I'm saying? And for me to have to be the one, I'm like, I'm the advocate of the situation. Like, I never thought it would be me that would have to make calls to people like, hey, I'm your daughter, or I'm your sister. Like, I'm thankful I was the delivery person, because I don't know how it would have felt if they would have reached out to me. I probably would have fainted wherever I was on the spot. So I'm thankful that it all happened, and you know, I'm just ready to move forward and see where it goes. But you know, I'm all right, y'all. You know, I'm straight. I have a few people worried about me. Like, I'm good, because again, I didn't even think, I didn't look for this. Like, it literally came to me. It fell in my lap, and you know, like everything else, I've learned to take it in stride, and you know, I'm gonna just go with it. So just wanted to give some clarity to y'all. Ooh, it's 12 minutes long. All right, I'm gonna let y'all go. Y'all have a great Sunday.